Test security for technology personnel. Every year, staff members who are involved in state assessment administration or have access to secure materials must complete test security and confidentiality training. This training is in addition to reading the appropriate manuals and using online resources, including test security guidelines available in each manual and the DCCR webpage. Upon completing this training, you will be required to take an oath of test security and confidentiality. Signing this oath confirms that you understand your responsibilities and commit to reading all relevant training materials and resources. The State Assessment Program fulfills federal requirements to test students in specific grades and subjects, ensuring that Texas students are competitive with other students nationally and internationally. The STAR program is a standardized achievement test. The TELPAS program assesses our emergent bilingual students in their language acquisition skills. Along with STAR, STAR Alternate 2, TELPAS, and TELPAS Alternate, your responsibilities extend to other assessment programs such as field test assessments, interim assessments, and the Texas Formative Assessment. The Texas Education Agency has technology guidelines that must be followed to ensure test security and confidentiality are maintained, and that testing is fair and equitable for all students. Most students grade 3 and above will take their assessments online. For students tested holistically, their data will be entered into an online system. The Campion platform is used for STAR, including any field tests, STAR Alternate 2, TELPAS, and TELPAS Alternate. It is also used for classroom practice using the Texas Formative Assessment resources and online practice tests. All test dates can be found in the district testing calendar. There are tabs for state assessments, national assessments, and all district assessments. The link will be provided to you as a resource in this Mobile Mind training. Please note these dates so that you are prepared. The landing page for all student assessments can be found at texasassessment.gov. On the landing page, you will find the Family Portal, where assessment history is housed, TIDE, or the Test Information Distribution Engine, the Learning Management System, Practiced and Released State Assessments, TFAR, and the Technology Resources with links to manuals and other resources. You can find the Technology Resource tile under the Testing Personnel page. This tile will take you to a page with links if needed to needed resources. Some of the responsibilities of technology staff include ensuring the network infrastructure and computers have been assessed and meet the minimum requirements, verifying that the infrastructure still meets TA guidelines after updates. It is imperative that testing via the wireless network is secure and be verified, and technology personnel should be available both before and during testing. Campuses have headsets and headphones with and without a boom. Any student using speech-to-text must have a boom or external microphone. Devices should be checked prior to test day to ensure connectivity. Text-to-speech uses a local device's native accessibility voice pack. Please make sure the Spanish voice pack has been activated for students that will use Spanish text-to-speech. The campus coordinator can help you identify which students will need access. If students are having trouble accessing the test, here are the general testing guidelines, troubleshooting guidelines. Restart the application, restart the device. These 2 steps will not cause a student to lose their test or test progress. Verify the students are on the operational site and not the practice site. The operational site is blue. If there is an error message on the screen, follow the instructions that are provided. Do not at any time take a picture of the error message because you are in the secure part of the testing platform. If needed, feel free to call or send me a text message. Please notify me immediately if there is a power outage. If the outage will last more than a few minutes, testing would be suspended for the day. Test security. Test security is designed to provide fair and equal testing opportunities for all students in Texas. Given the many uses of student performance data, it is imperative that all individuals participating in the program understand test security and the need to preserve the integrity of test content. We're going to cover the specifics in this section. What is test security? Test security encompasses the policies and procedures that preserve the integrity of the test content to ensure results are meaningful and valid. It requires all participants to adhere to instructions and procedures in the test administration manuals and other training resources. It ensures fair and equal testing opportunities for all students. It requires us to provide training to all individuals administering an assessment, collect an oath of test security and confidentiality for all staff, and account for all secure materials before, during, and after each test administration. Everyone is responsible for test security and confidentiality. If materials are left unattended, you should immediately contact the campus testing coordinator. Secure materials include online test content, test booklets, online test tickets, test session IDs, TELPAS calibration activities, the components for holistically rating students, the observable behavior documentation, STAR Alternate 2 booklets, STAR Alternate 2 image cards, secure test administration manuals, and student test booklets. If in doubt, contact your campus testing coordinator. To maintain test security, we must maintain that all district and campus personnel must meet eligibility requirements, attend and engage in all required training, sign an oath of test security and confidentiality, and actively monitor to ensure that all tests are administered in strict accordance with the test procedures. Test content. All test content is secure. You should never view, discuss, or record test content as it is strictly prohibited. Never take a picture of a test screen. Do not copy, print, write notes, or capture electronically or by any other means any test content. Only students may respond to test questions. Test administrators may not respond or score any test content. Campuses must have procedures to prevent students and staff members' use of cell phones and personal electronic devices during administration. Test administrators must actively monitor the use of technology, including technology-based accommodations during an assessment. You should not have your cell phone on or in use inside the testing room. You should not be sending or receiving text messages or phone calls in the testing room. Instead, use the classroom phone or step into the hall. Testing violations and irregularities. Incidents resulting in a deviation from documented testing procedures are defined as testing irregularities, and they fall into one of three reporting categories: serious, procedural, or locally determined disciplinary action. Serious testing violations include conduct that violates the security and confidentiality of a test and, in general, is an intentional act by a staff member, such as altering a test response or discussing secure content. Procedural irregularities are less severe and more common, and typically result from the minor deviation in testing procedures. The test administrator manual lists several examples of procedural irregularities by type. These are monitoring errors, accommodation errors, eligibility errors, improper accounting of secure materials, and training errors. Procedural irregularities are generally unintentional mistakes made by staff, such as forgetting to read the script verbatim or leaving materials unintended for any length of time. Locally determined disciplinary action usually occurs when a student is caught cheating by providing or receiving assistance. Some of the most common irregularities that happen include a test administrator leaving a room unattended when students or secure material are present and when secure online tests were open and visible. Secure online tests were left open and visible during a lunch break, a short break taken in the testing room, or a restroom break. Technology personnel were left to monitor students in the testing session. A test administrator failed to read directions from the test administrator manual. Students were given a test ticket that belonged to another student and logged into the test. Technology and campus staff failed to review a device that allowed a student to access the internet while providing a designated support to the student. Examples of a serious irregularity. TA considers it a serious violation if a student photographs or duplicates secure test content and disseminates this information using an electronic device. Chapter 39.0033 of the Texas Education Code states that a violation may result in the invalidating of student test results, referring an educator to SBEC, or lowering the district or campus accountability rating. When an educator is referred to SBEC, they could have a restriction placed on the issuance, renewal, or holding of a certificate. SBEC could issue an inscribed or non-inscribed reprimand. The educator's certificate could be suspended for a set term or revoked or canceled. If a staff member is not certified, they will be referred to Human Resources for appropriate action. All staff are required to undergo annual training in test security administration. Testing personnel must also receive training in testing policies and procedures relevant to each administration, as well as training related to security protocols for authorizing viewing of state assessments such as Braille, special paper administration, or oral administration. Contact the campus testing coordinator immediately if you suspect that there has been a violation of test security or procedures, or if you know that it is a violation of test security or procedures. Campus administrators will follow the incident reporting guidelines if the campus determines that the incident resulted in an irregularity. Oath of Test Security and Confidentiality. When you complete this training, each person participating in the state assessment program must complete an Oath of Test Security and Confidentiality. The 25-26 school year oath will be done on paper, and as it requires a signature. It is a single oath for both certified and non-certified staff. When signing this oath, you will acknowledge the responsibilities to report suspected testing irregularities to the campus testing coordinator, campus administrators, or the TA assessment divisions, and that you are aware of the range of penalties that may result from a violation. This oath is valid for 1 school year. Thank you for your time spent completing this training. As a reminder, you are required to read the appropriate manuals and online resources and follow all testing procedures, report any violations or suspicions of violations of test security and confidentiality, and attend campus-specific trainings as they apply to your role. If you have any questions, please contact your campus testing coordinator. Again, thank you for the time spent completing this training. If you have any questions, contact the campus testing coordinator.